What's up, YouTube? In this video, we're going to talk about some more Linux commands. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So as we know, we can go ahead and create a text file, and I'm going to call this test.txt. We can do nano, that's basically a text editor. And I'm going to write, this is the first line, this is the second line, I am the third line. All right, we're going to save that. Control X, save. We can hit Y and enter. All right, and we can cat this out and read it to the screen. All right. Now, we want to go over a command called awk, and this is a powerful tool. It's used to process and analyze text files line by line. So we can often use it for pattern matching and reporting. So, for example, this is how we can do it if we want the second column. We can do awk, single quote, open bracket, print, $2. This is specifying the second column. Single quote, test.txt, and this pulls all the second columns, 1, 2, 3, right? We also can use head, which shows the first 10 lines. So let's go ahead and edit this file again, and I'm going to add some more lines. I'm going to say 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 lines, right? So let's talk about head. So head, it displays the first few lines of a file. It shows the first 10 lines. So if I did head test.txt, it's giving me the first 10, right? But what if I want the first 5? Then I can do head-n5 test.txt. That's the first 5, right? We also can show the bottom by doing tail n5. Get the bottom from the bottom up, right? See? Or if we just do tail like that, right? Another command I want to go over with you is we can do date. See what time it is in the date, right? Now, I also want to go over with you WC, which stands for word count. It counts the number of lines, words, and characters in the file. So if I do WC on the TXT file, right, that's what we get. 15 lines, 27 words, 97 characters. Very cool, right? So what if we did WC-L? It sorts the line in a specific order, right? So what if we want to do sort? We can have sort command, and we can sort it from 10 down to the beginning, right? It's alphabetically. It is numbers first, right? And then it goes characters, okay? And we can use unique. So let's do this. So let's say we sort txt and we pipe it. That means take one command and we're going to add it to this other command. Okay, so we can do that. And that removes duplicate lines. So let me give you an example. So if I go clear and I go nano, and let's do enter here, and I say this is the first line. So we got 2 instances of it, right? Right. Once I do that other command we just ran, unique, it's gonna take one of them off, right? And only keep one. All right, let's do du. Let's show disk usage. Got a lot of malware and stuff like that taking up a lot of my space. Let's do df. And this is basically going to display disk space used for all mounted file systems, okay? All right, df-h. Okay. Now, let's do this. Let's clear screen, ls. We got that test file, some malware, we got a Splunk instance, all kind of stuff, right? Let's do a test.txt. Well, yeah, let's do the first one first. Let's copy this. Oops, I mean to do that. Copy selection. Let's get out of there. Let's do a nano test2.txt. Let's paste some of this in here. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do some changes. We're saying because we're going to run a command called diff that's going to tell us the difference. This is this Roman numeral text right here, y'all. I'm really not good at this, so some of this might be wrong. Let's go ahead and all right, now let's run a diff on them. So let's do diff text this one versus this one. Okay, so it's noticing this is different from this. Everything else is the same, right? Right. Let's talk about expansion. So expansion is commands like this. This is a tilde, which instead of going change directory dot right to Kali, I can actually go change directory straight to where I need to go, straight to desktop, right? And I can do stuff like that, right? You have this, that's a wildcard. It matches any number of characters. So if I want to look for all txt files, I could go wildcard.txt when I'm doing like a grep search or something like that, right? Another thing I want to go over, like for example, let's say I want to do ls start.gz right here. Wait, I may have to put in the quotations. I don't know. Oh yeah, I don't have anything like that in there. I'm in the wrong directory. ls start.txt, and it pulls those three, right? Another thing that I want to go over with you is a command called gzip, and that's compressing the files using the gzip algorithm. So what if I want to put these text files into a compressed state, right? Then I can go, let me show you how I do it. I go gzip test2, right? And I do ls, and it's in a compressed format, right? And how do I uncompress it? I don't even know if that's the word, uncompress or decompress. That's the word. I do test2 like that. ls is back, right? Another thing I can do is I can use a tar command, and that can use to archive multiple files to a single file, basically compressing them. Okay, so for example, say I wanted to use it on those txt files that I just had, right? All right, I could go tar cbf archive.tar, and I got it right here. And if I wanted to extract that, I can go tar dash or tag. Some people call it tag, but I do dash bf archive.tar, and there they go, right? We already went over nano. That's a simple text editor in the terminal that we can use. We can use the open files as well. Let's do alias. So alias is basically a command that gives you other commands that you can run that are similar, right? So if I do, let's say ls-l, it creates an alias to list all the files, right? So the way I can do that is I can go ll, well, I can actually go alias ll equals ls like that, right? Right, you see that? So another thing I can do is I can use the find command, and we can use that to find different types of files. So say I do file and I do dot for my current directory down in dash name, and I want to do look for wildcard txt files, right? It's gonna find all the txt files there, right? And it's gonna be recursive, so it's gonna go through other folders as well to get everything, right? We can also look at VG and put if we had jobs in the background. We don't have any jobs running right now. We can do FG, foreground, put jobs in the foreground, and we can suspend jobs. We can also do history, looking at previous commands that we've ran, right? And what if I wanted to, let's show you again history. What if I wanted to 1 2 3 4 5 rewind the previous command, the fifth one? I can do #5, and I can go back to the fifth command that I ran, right? Which is this, right? And they're pretty cool. All right, so let's go ahead and clear screen. And those are some commands I wanted to go over with you that are very powerful within Linux.